Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia. Today, we'll be continuing our journey into Act 8, covering all of the easiest paths. If multiple paths are an option in the quest, I will cover them all. Remember that these are just what I found easier, and your roster and experiences may vary. So let's dive in. Act 8, Chapter 1, Quest. Number 5. Without a doubt. One more, then on to our first major boss of Act 8. The path we'll be taking in this quest is up and left towards Night Thrasher. Here we have Weapon Eternal Flame Ember, Disarm Heavy Attack, Unarmed Special 1, Persistent Pressure, and Mystic Ward. You know the drill by this point. The weapon here will give the defender back 40% of the power they spent on any special attack, increased by a further flat 10% for each unique buff on them. But looking over this path, that last bit isn't going to be a problem. If we have a weapon node, that means we can disarm it, and disarm heavy is the way to go here. Drop a heavy attack, weapon goes away, and unarmed special 1 will give us 800% more special 1 damage, though this doesn't apply, as per usual, to effects triggered from the special 1 unless they scale directly with the damage you deal. Persistent Pressure is a slightly annoying node, but nothing we can't deal with. Every 15 seconds, the defender will go unstoppable for 5 seconds, and they are stun immune whilst they're unstoppable. This unstoppable buff is reduced by half a second for every prowess effect you have. Finally, Mystic Ward means that our nullify ability accuracy is reduced by 95%. The idea simply being that you can't just nullify off the unstoppables. So stack prowess if you want to, and drop big special ones. Northstar, both Storms, Emma Frost, Toad, maybe Professor X, Ramped Apocalypse, Sauron and so on would all do very well here, but really you can use anyone you want and wait out the unstoppables. They are quite long, but just dance around and you'll be fine. Slow is another option if you want to go down that route, but with 3 skill defenders on the path and slow tended to be more of a science option, I will leave that one up to you. They are, however, affected by atrophy or atrophy-like effects, so champions like Kindred or Mojo can work if you want to use them. As a final note, do watch out for Purgatory if you're using a champion that gains prowess buffs. Now that she has been buffed, she will inflict you with unavoidable neutralizers, making it harder and harder and harder to gain buffs as the fight goes on. If you're wondering why I haven't suggested the other weapon path, right and up towards Mr. Fantastic, you absolutely can take it, but to be honest, I find it quite annoying. You have to intercept to disarm the node, and with Fight or Flight and Red Riot Shield as the weapon, it is quite easy and very punishing if you mess it up. The unarmed node is then Strike Block, which is also quite a niche one to take advantage of. The path is an option, but only if you're very comfortable with your intercepts and you main Corvus, Massacre, or Valkyrie. And if this video is helping you at all, please drop some massive special ones on that like button. The boss we'll be taking in this quest is Daredevil Hell's Kitchen. Here we have Assault Battery 3, Power to Cower, Persistent Pressure, and Gifted Ability Accuracy 5. Daredevil doesn't have much in the way of defensive abilities, apart from a shrug-off chance for non-damaging debuffs, and a special one that takes about 2 days to launch. Gifted Ability Accuracy will give him 200% more ability accuracy, and Persistent Pressure we have just seen on the path. Gifted is kind of a pointless node here, as all of Daredevil's abilities are guaranteed anyway. It pretty much just stops us using Apocalypse to counter his Shrug Off, but even then that only works when he has 15 or less on his combo meter. Shrugging a debuff will give him 5 combo, so this is really only going to happen 3 or 4 times, though then hitting him will reduce his combo. It's much easier here, though, than on the path to deal with Persistent Pressure, as there's no Mystic Ward, meaning we can just nullify or stagger the buff off him. So that just leaves us with Assault Battery and Power to Cower. Power to Cower will give Daredevil 0.5% more power, and make his specials cost 0.5% less power for every hit on your combo meter, and this caps out at 100 hits. You can use a special 3 to reset your own combo meter if required, but honestly this node just doesn't come up. It's not important, and in fact, whilst your combo is a middling area, we can use it to our advantage to bait his special 2s rather than his special 1s. So this leaves us with the main node in this fight, and that is Assault Battery. Any damage you do to Daredevil goes into this counter instead of his health bar, and when you knock him down with a special attack, but not a heavy attack, he will take 200% of the damage in the counter. However, If you are knocked down at all, you will take 200% of the counter instead. So that's both specials and heavies against you. So don't eat a heavy or a special, and this will effectively triple your damage output. One of the reasons I suggest this boss is you can really just use the same champions we did on the path, and Assault Battery will just increase your damage, as long as you aren't knocked down. So, for our team, well, we have a range of options. Mutants will be a focal point here, as they generally have the best access to prowess, and they also work really nicely in teams together. Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Strife, White Magneto, and Professor X would all be very, very solid, really focusing on boosting up Apocalypse, as he will be doing most of the heavy lifting, and we can use a White Magneto pre-fight on the boss to bypass the shrug-off. Mr. Sinister and Strife don't gain prowess themselves, though we are using them to boost Apocalypse. Mr. Sinister to fully ramp him straight away, and Strife to give him some extra burst damage on his special 1s and special 2s, though it's probably not needed. Or we could go down a different route, and use champions such as Sauron, Northstar, OG Storm, and Toad, with perhaps a Mystic for the boss that can control those Unstoppables. Let's say Mojo. Fairly soon after this video goes out, I will get up a short commentated video of me going through this path with the exact team I suggest above. I think we'll go with the Apocalypse team. It'll be much more relaxed, but should hopefully give some more insight into how I look at getting around these issues. I will also answer any popular questions from the comments of this video and that video, so please leave yours down below. As always, remember that this is just story content, so it won't be going anywhere anytime soon. If you get stuck here and find yourself spending lots of resources, stop and focus on something else. The monthly event quests and side quests are great places to pick up more materials, shards, and units, as are battlegrounds and the arena. So, that's it. Everything you need to know to clear all of 8.1.5. For more specific advice, consider joining the Discord server linked in the description. A great place to get said advice, make suggestions for future video topics, and while I'm awake, I do my best to be there as much as possible. Thank you, and I will see you next time.